Welcome, everyone. It is WSHipSupremacyLeague.com's All-Star Game featuring Team No Zoup for You versus Team Quemapueblos. Hey everybody, how's it going? Sirvenomik here. What we have for you today is a special treat. There will be 3 videos in a row of the WSHip Supremacy League All-Star Game featuring Team Quemapueblos versus Team No Zoup. That's right, No Zoup for You and Quemapueblos. Boy, I'm butchering his name. I do apologize. Here, decided today we're going to be able to take part in the All-Star Game, featuring some of the top players from each of the teams in the top 4 of the Supremacy League Gold and Silver. Here we go. Here's game number 2 coming up right now. Not as sophisticated as this game, but they'll roll into A and then they'll turn and cut across B. I still think that if one team can get into B and get behind the 3 islands there in the middle, as we know, there's one big island in the middle at B, and then there's 2 outlying islands, which I think we'll probably see people behind both of those islands on either side, and then they'll probably send one random guy around the outside, just like 2 Trailer Park Girls, over into the sea to cap that one for their team. If not, then we'll probably see a big old massive team fleet into A, cap that one, and then a big massive push into B.
That's always, people do that a lot. It's really, really hard to pull off. Just because there's a lot of ground to cover between the islands of A and the islands of B. So I think if one of these teams is able to set up in Bravo itself, it's going to be really hard to push them off. You know, if they're behind Bravo or they're on the corner, you can definitely push. You can, if you're careful, you can push from A to B. But I think if they're in B and they've got their smoke bubbles, they've got, a Kutsov behind an island for the anti-air, so the anti-air is pushed up as far as possible. If they've got, the DDs patrolling, so it's just a torp field coming through, it's going to be, that's A to B is going to be a long slog for a fleet.
Absolutely, I tend to agree with you. Now, do you think we'll see any boat changes this time? We saw Belfast and Shiriatsuyu in this one. I still think the Shiriatsuyu is probably better than the Tier 8 Japanese Japanese destroyer here. So I think that the fact that he can put out that 16 row of torpedoes is probably a little bit more intimidating than something else. So do you think we'll see the Belfast again this game?
That's a tough call. Well, I see an Edinburgh right there, so I guess that is the call. Not necessarily a bad call for this map. I'm going to take a guess and say we're probably going to see him go really hard in those islands, and is that both in Edinburgh and a Chapayev? All right, so it looks like they're going really hard on the anti-DD.
Which team are you talking about?
It looks like Team Quemapueblos has got.
Okay.
Yeah, I see a Chapayev and an Edinburgh there.
Now we did see some effectiveness of the smoke in the last game. Do you think? Do you think that they kind of took over the game as DDs tend to do from time to time? Or was it really kind of a really good team effort? There wasn't just one guy other than Carrier Z. I think both the destroyers on both teams were really good
solid
play.
Team effort. I mean, we didn't.
Yeah.
I guess if we look at those damage numbers, probably would have been really even through the team. Keep in mind they lost a few guys, but everyone else was almost around the same health. The 2D. I mean, gosh, I think it was Rhino was so low on health that he got, team killed by like scrape and paint. That's a good sign, you keep your DDs, you keep everyone up till the end of the match. You got a good chance of winning a match,
Absolutely.
It's all about longevity.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much damage you do. If you end up dying, then hey, guess what? You could have done a lot more damage, Sometimes it's unavoidable damage, and we all understand that being players of the game. But sometimes, if you're dead and somebody's trolling you in the chat, well, hey, guess what? Maybe you actually did some good there. I know I've done it. Everybody else here has done it. You go into a game, you get 2 or 3 kills really early, and then you die within the 3 minutes. You've got 90,000 damage in 3 minutes, and then everybody's like, "Oh, you're terrible." And I'm like, "Hey, man, I died. I got 2 kills. What have you done?" So I don't think any of that's going to go on in here in this one, because it is an all-star game, and this is just for fun. But Sterling, break us down what you got on your team this game, homie.
All right, so I have almost the exact same setup, except Cruiser Tago has actually switched to an Atago, believe it or not.
Outstanding. That'll be interesting with his low detection range and those torps, man.
That might not be a bad choice for this map. You know, it's got some room to maneuver. Depending on how they play him, he can take some very nice flanks here. If they can get the air superiority too, he's gonna have a really good time.
Absolutely. Over here on I guess I'm on Q's team this time. Over here on Q's team, we got a North Carolina, 2 Bismarcks, an Edinburgh, if you will, a Chapayev, 2 Bensons, and Q is in the Shiriatsu yet again.
Q did some work in that little Shiriatsu last match.
That is one nasty boat, boys. If you guys haven't played it yet, I recommend grinding up just to get that boat. That boat is one really awesome thing, and it is a tier 7. And I was really kind of surprised when they put it out there that teams really took to the Shiriatsuyu immediately. I think we saw every team, the day that it came out, every team started practicing that boat and putting it into their strategies.
It's definitely one of the interesting things that we have here in the Supremacy League. If you look over at the EU League and a couple of the tournaments, almost all of them are tier 8 only. And we've always said just up to tier 8 because when we originally started, we figured, that lets players, if they don't have like a Magami or a Tago, they can play a Miyoko or something, It's something we left in as the time went because there was a couple strong tier 7s, like a Bliss was used once in a while. So, having some of those really perhaps even OP tier 7s and really gives teams a lot more options. And I think the Shiriatsu is honestly a great addition to the meta. Because it's really hard to sit in a smoke bubble if you got a Shiriatsu out there capable of dumping 16 torps into your little bubble.
Absolutely. Now, as I predicted, we're seeing a big mass from Q's team down here around that bottom island at B, and from what we can see of the enemy team, it looks like there's a big mass. You guys are running into A. What it looks like right now is you guys are about to cap that, and it looks like Big Zach's here in the B cap, and Q is also in the B cap, being spotted by planes right now, and. We'll see how the carriers do in this game, man. We'll see if they are going to be as effective as they were in the last game.
Definitely going to be an interesting game here. It looks like both teams are taking kind of similar plays to they did last time. Zoup is putting all those people on one cap, and he's probably going to try and make him. He has to make a move, I guess, between A and B at some point. Q is going really hard into B.
Oh wow, there's a DD over here at boot camp is here at C, and it looks like he is spotted here. And there's Rhino. So we got a hot knife fight going on between the Benson, both Bensons as boot camp pops his smoke first. Rhino has no torpedoes left. And as we see, the Chapayev took a big, nasty shot, and Shin is down to about 20,000 hit points now, or down 20,000 hit points
does
now.
Have the fighters here, so
he is still taking this damage. They are within the 1.9 kilometer range. But these 2 sets of torpedoes, is he going to dodge those? Looks like he did very, very nice dodge. So it looks like Rhino should be taking out boot camp here. Oh, there's some random torpedoes.
And it looks like
those were plane torpedoes, and he got too close to it, so he was able to hit one of them, but it did not activate. But we'll see what happens if the Chapayev.
This is interesting. Both teams losing that DD right off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So there you go. It's a wash there at Charlie right now. So Q's team has a position for Charlie. All they have to do is send one guy in there real quick to pick up C and move his way back. It'll be easier for them than it would for No Zoop's team to go pick up Charlie at the moment.
is definitely an interesting play. I saw that Chapayev takes some hits on Team Q there. The battleships have some nice strong positions, but I'm really worried again they're not going to get the smoke.
We have Benson Big Zach is now running over to Charlie to pick up Charlie. Captain Vermicelli and Mega Dude are here on the backside of Bravo in the middle of the island. And then as you see here, Chapayev Righteous Fury on the backside of the southern Bravo island, trying to launch HE shells over there as Avant is now in the open by himself and is now being the focus down by a No Zoup for Use team. Shiriatsuyu and Q are heading over to Shin over here by the the right-hand side of A island as he is sitting in behind that.
Oh, this is interesting. It looks like Mega Dude's Edinburgh has taken the smoke module instead of the radar module, as we thought he might have taken radar, as they're typically brought in. So he's got a nice strong position here. He can just rain some AP shells down, but he's still got to be careful. Avant's probably going to go down though, because they lost the DD and they got a DD and C. So, unless quemapueblos can get there real quick.
Now we see Q Shikaku, Fog Carrier Shikaku, making a run into Charlie. Maybe you could have made a play for, hey, Big Zach, go back into B and let the Shikaku take Charlie here. But either way, they took it, and that's it. That's an advantage. They are going to start gaining points on No Zoup for Use team, and if No Zoup for Use team wants to counter this, they're going to have to make a push, and this is a dangerous push because you can focus down. You can focus people down extremely quickly, as we see Q dropping torpedoes on their cruiser Atago. In the Atago, and he just took a massive shot from the Shin in the North Carolina. That was probably 30,000 hit points worth of damage. Man, what an excellent shot.
I believe Shin is hydroed or something, though, because they are hitting him. We see him.
We do see. Y'all see Shin right now?
Dive bombs going on at Atago. Shin is moving, but could take a Atago out right here.
Q is taking a massive amount. It looks like a Bismarck secondaries might be spotted him as Cruiser Atago goes down to the next shot of Shin in the North Carolina. This is a nasty, nasty thing. Kudasov is shooting at him, and the Bismarck is also shooting at Q, and he has run away. Looks like he might have dropped off the screen because they are no longer shooting at him.
We can't see Q anymore, but Shin is still stuck behind that island. So this is going to be interesting.
Looks like you guys have a Benson. Maybe that looks like Benson fire going out on Shin just to try to pepper him down and get him on fire as he's dropping torpedoes into B that fell short of anybody, but still. Now you guys see Mega Dude and Vermicelli over there, or just Vermicelli, because he's taking a little bit of damage.
So we know he is right there on Vermi. We know he might be smoking Vermi or moving out, but we kind of lost him. So
right now, Big Zach's dropping smoke to cover both of those. Here we go. Shiriatsuyu Killer Maximus gonna go ahead and charge around the corner. Q spots him as fires. Holy nasty, dude. He is going to kill him. Look at these torpedoes going to hit. Wow, what an excellent shot by Shin in that. He has had some really devastating shots as Shikaku go ahead and drops his bombs on Q and takes Q out of the game. What a nasty shot.
Another kill for Zukaku this match. Q did get some torps off, so he might get some hits on these two BBs, but it looks like Team Zoup is cleared to make that push across.
Make that push. There you go. One on No Zoup's nose here in the Bismarck. Looks like he might take another one. It looks like he might take one more of Q's torps there. There we go. A couple of thousand damage off. Looks like about 10,000 damage off on that one. What an excellent play there. Going around that corner, securing that corner for No Zoup. No Zoup is taking a huge beating at the moment. Pink Assassin showed up on the radar, and now he is down to about 2,300 hit points. Looks like he might drop off a radar before they're able to put him down, as No Zoup looks like he's going to go down to Shikaku. Fog Carrier Shikaku takes down No Zoup for you with a plane torpedo. And now Battleship Musashi Kai is the focus of of Q's team here, and they're pretty actionable here. Unfortunately, this is the problem that I see having A and then making a big push. You get stalled out, and now Battleship Musashi Kai is the only one out there taking damage, and nobody else is around him to help him because he can't. I don't think he can see anybody. Can y'all see anybody?
Yep. Actually, we've got the Chapayev, the Benson, the Edinburgh, and the Bismarck. Everyone is visible here.
He must have charged in with his hydro on. As a set of torpedoes are coming out. Oh, Musashi took a big old nasty shot from Vermicelli there. No torpedoes are going to hit, and the return torpedoes on the other side did not come anywhere close to Righteous Fury. As man, I don't know, man. This is a pretty interesting game here. I don't know which way it's going to go, but it looks like Musashi Kai has had enough, and he's making the charge here. Unfortunately, nobody's come with him at this moment, so I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure this move.
If he finishes either the Edinburgh, tough. Oh my God, we might see a Chapayev torp kill this round.
Oh, he took out the Bismarck. Are we going to see the 4-kilometer torpedoes from the Chapayev act? Yes, we are. There it is. Chapayev torpedo kill. Impressive, as everybody knows that is a very short-range torpedo from the Chapayev.
Off's going to kill the Benson as well.
Quite possibly. Unless if he's taking hydro, then that smoke is not going to do anything for him.
Team Q's got to get his battleships in there ASAP.
Yeah, we see Vermicelli sitting on the outside of B and Yvonne. I don't understand why he's down at the H6 line. But it looks like the Kudasov is going to go down here. Maybe the Edinburgh. And here comes Edinburgh torpedoes on the North Carolina. Ooh, what a nice shot, taking him out. And then the North Carolina, they trade a Kudasov for a Benson. I think I'd rather have the Benson than the Kudasov at this point. But that's just me. And we're waiting on Battleship Shinano to reload his guns and probably take out Megadude unless he's able to get behind the island. And as we see Avant trying to get a flank in. And it looks like they're down to Battleship Shinano, so he's going to have to put the team on his back and carry these people. As there you go. Edinburgh goes down, Megadude here. Now Battleship Shinano is in smoke. But, man, I tell you what, the chances of him taking out 2 Bismarcks, you have to get some pretty lucky shots with a Shikaku coming in. Now, I know.
I don't know if he got his chance to see it, but it looks like Sukaku got another good hit on Avant here. He is just racking up the torp hits today. But we got some torps from Shikaku coming in on Shinano now. It looks like he just missed him because he was in smoke, I guess.
Yes, I don't see Shin there in the North I don't see the North Carolina anywhere. He's still capping B. He is in the protective smoke that Q's team dropped down for themselves, so he's taking full advantage of that. And there you go. He is cap B. So what do you think, man? Is it going to be a carrier kill, or one of these Bismarcks going to be able to take him out, or is the North Carolina going to be able to come back and pull this game out for?
Well, it does look like the
no
two Bismarcks are getting together. So with their cap advantage, I think if the two Bismarcks get together, they can just club this Carolina. If they both just go in and charge him, I don't think there's a whole lot he can do.
You think we'll see a ram on this one?
You know, a ram would honestly still work out better for him because they'd still be.
They'd still have
Team
one
Q
boat
here.
here.
If they took out the battleship, it's just carrier left, and I think that's.
There we go. Now they is spotted, and he has taken some shots here. Not too much damage on that one, about 4,000 or 5,000. But with it's when it's 1 versus 2, it's going to be pretty rough. And now the secondaries are going off on. Looks like Vermicelli that are putting the secondaries down on North Carolina, which is pretty dangerous for the North Carolina because of the fire, how much fire damage that these things can put out. Now both of them are shooting at him. Oh my goodness! And here we go. We got some.
Looks like Avant's going to go in while Vermicelli is
going to lead it away.
Kite a little bit. It's going in the tank for Vermi. And both of them are in secondary range. Zukaku is launching planes, but I don't think there's anything he can do. That Torp squadron he just launched, I think it's dead. And I think it had like 3 Torps in it to start with.
I think so as well.
Doesn't look like Shikaku's got anything left either, though. So these two
Yeah,
carriers
they've done really
hard.
really well against each other and against the man. Carrier Z right now with 1 kill. Shikaku with 1 kill as well. Oh, he took the open shot here. Wow, what a nice shot on Vermicelli. It's going to be a little bit too little, too late. I think the secondaries are just going to flat overwhelm Shinano here.
Yep, it looks like Avant doesn't want to go for the dodge. Not a bad call because he's now forced Shinano to kind of trying to angle versus both him and Vermi.
Yeah, excellent call here. There it is right there. Citadel from Avant. Well, if it wasn't a Citadel, it was pretty damn close to it because that hurt him and that put the game pretty much out of reach here. I don't think Carrier Z has any more planes left. If he has, then he's saving them for next game, possibly. What a great game here. We saw the strategy play out to where they were going to go in to take B and they were going to defend it and they were going to make No Zoup for You's team come charging at them. And I think that's always a disadvantage for the team that has to charge into a defensible position behind islands like that, especially coming from A to B where you are very wide open in between. Yes, there's some little islands here and there that you can hide behind, but for you to pull out the game and to come back, especially when you're down like that, losing the C cap early, you really have to make a play, and unfortunately you can't sit behind the islands and cap B at the same time. So
you know what I think went wrong for them there?
What's that?
I think those dying torps from quemapueblos, because that turned Zoup around and he ultimately died. And I think who was it? Shinano Musashi? That first Bismarck was actually the second one in line right behind Zoup.
Yes, sir.
Zoup got turned around trying to dodge those torps, but he had to keep going. So that just dying torp salvo from Q just broke the whole thing apart. Those two,
I tell you what, man, that's the power of a Shiriatsuyu, my friend. Guys, some things you don't. If you hit a torpedo on a salvo, then that's a pretty good salvo in my opinion. But if you don't hit a torpedo on it and you turn somebody to where they open up into more shots from somebody else or anything like that, that is also a successful torpedo salvo in my opinion. So let's break it down here. We got Shin here in the North Carolina with 2 kills and 12 planes. Fog Carrier here in the Shikaku, 1 kill and 18 planes shot down. Bismarck, Evant here, 2 and 10. Captain Vermicelli, 2 and 7. Righteous Fury and Megadude with 1 and 12 apiece. And GG Bootcamp with 2 planes. What you got over on your side?
So over here we've got Battleship Shinano killed 31 planes. That is a lot of planes.
That is a lot of planes.
Everyone else got some scattered plane kills. It looks like Sukaku had 23. So if you look at the two totals for the CVs, 23 to 18, this was a really close match for the air battle. So, it looks like Shikaku put up a very good fight for him. I bet we'll probably see similar damage numbers too if we were able to see them, because I noticed both of them getting bomb kills, torp kills, and stuff. So who do you think MVP of this match?
MVP. I gotta have 2. I gotta have 2 MVPs here. Their Carrier and quemapueblos with his torpedoes really pushed the team back in the other direction. You can also make a play for Shin in the North Carolina, just absolutely devastating the Shiriatsuyu and the Atago on pretty much within 3 salvos he had 2 kills and probably about 60,000 plus damage. So all 3 of those guys are my stars of the game. How about you, homie?
I think the best thing I saw was Shin there. I was honestly kind of worried about him at the start of the match because he was out by himself on that island. I mean, he was stuck there from the very onset of the match. So basically, to kill a Tago and then kill a DD, I think that's the best trade they could have hoped for. Because even early game, I think if he had just tried to turn and run away, having spawned, it looked like he spawned way west and went up there, I think he would have died. So sitting right there, he forced them into a stall. and then he forced them to take 2 ships to try and kill him. So I think that was the best trade we saw there. Other than that, just really solid play all around, you know.
Absolutely,
And it
both
looks like
teams.
one of the people is commenting that we have the mini map covered. Feel free to uncover that. Actually, I didn't realize we had it covered for this match. It being a fun match and no worries about delays and all that.
No, yeah, there's
Go
no
ahead and
delay.
show
I
the good
just
folks the mini map.
I actually forgot about that. You guys said I could undo the mini map, but I actually forgot about that. That's on me. My bad, my friends. So whatever Q said to him in the halftime there, in between the first game and the second game, must have worked because they came out, they took Bravo, they went and they took Charlie. It was a really close fight at Charlie there. It could have really gone either way, but their carrier really took down Rhino there, and that was an another impressive torpedo drop from both carriers here in this game. I know Carrier Z had some really nice torpedo drops on a lot of different people there. So both carriers really showing up in this game. Play of the game, I want to agree with the quemapueblos there. Man, you know, play of the game. That's pretty hard. There was quite a bit of them. I think the Otago going down and the Shiriatsuyu going down back to back from Shin was pretty hot in the game, and then those torpedoes making them turn and forcing them to continue on with their charge when
totally
they were
agree.
yeah. So
I
those
think between Q and Shin sitting right there, they took 2 ships out right there. They stuck them on that corner so Zoup couldn't move, and even though it cost them 2 ships, you know, I think that position right there costs, you know, Zoup the game in a lot of ways. You know, he had to either go through that torp wall or he had to turn around, and either one was not great for the push.
Absolutely. Now, Team Q here going into the last game. They were down 1-0. They came back and pulled out the second game. What do you think he's telling the team here for the game number 3?
You know, I don't know. We're going to have to see how they play it. So far, Zoup has played 2 matches in a row where looks like their overall goal has been to try and keep the team together and push as a team. It worked really well for him in the first one. The second one, just the map itself kind of worked against them. So we're gonna have to see a fortune, because it is another island map, but the islands are more tight together. So we kind of have to see what he wants to do and where he wants to push.
This is another one of those. Sea of Fortune coming up is another one of those maps that has a really small window from 1 cap into B. Now, this last one was C into B, and now this next one is going to be A into B, I believe. And I personally think No Zoup's going to tell his team, hey guys, that was a rough loss, but we need to pull it up. We need to pull up by our bootstraps, and we need to go in here and we need to take B first and then send our guy over to C, or send him back over to A, depending on what the enemy team is doing. But B is definitely something priority here. If you can take B and the cap on the right-hand side of B here, looking at the mini-map, is really an amazing defensible position. And do you think we'll see anybody die in the channel here in between A and B?
Hey, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Daddy needs that YouTube money.